Chapter 486, Half-Saint Blood Pill. This chapter is updated by Novels.pl. Pager did not know that Jiang Yuochen had long ago activated his space domain. In the space domain, his every movement was within his control. It looked like the blue water dragon patent sword was about to come crashing down on his head. A sinister smile glimmered at the corner of Page's mouth. Everything was going to end. However, in the next moment, his smile froze. He did not know what happened. The entire space seemed to have become frozen. His movements stopped completely. Jiang Yuochen, however, was not affected and moved to the right. He struck out quickly with a palm and executed the sixth palm of the dragon and elephant Prajna palm, divine dragon's steel. Streaks of lightning surged out from his palm, forming a dragon shadow that struck Page in the chest. PFFT. Page's chest caved in slightly. He spat out a mouthful of fresh blood as he flew backward. When masters fought, it was like this. Even the slightest mistake would immediately determine victory. Normally, given Page's strength, even if he was not as good as Jiang Yuochen, he should still have been able to resist for hundreds of strikes. It was a pity that Jiang Yuochen had executed a space freezing, halting his movement. In that brief moment, Page's defeat was decided. The Orange Star Emissary and the 8 Glazed Knights did not know Jiang Yuochen had used the power of space either. They only saw Jiang Yuochen's strike send Page flying back, once again injuring Page heavily. In front of Jiang Yuochen, the 41st Master on the Heaven Board was just like a child. He was absolutely no match for him. It's impossible. How could he be so powerful? Page wiped away the blood at the corner of his mouth, feeling very dissatisfied. He placed one hand on the ground and used the power of recoil to stand once more. It was not easy even for a top 10 Master on the Heaven Board to defeat him. How was Jiang Yuochen able to? Suddenly, his vision blurred, and a streak of sword radiance chopped towards his neck. Page was shocked. All the hairs on his body stood on end. He quickly sent out the power of the blue water dragon patent sword and blocked it. Jiang Yuochen had struck with all his strength. Page had blocked hastily. Immediately, the relative superiority was decided. Boom. Page could only feel that everything in front of his eyes was sword chi. A gigantic pressure pushed down, forcing him to take a step back to dissolve it. Jiang Yuochen struck again and again. His clever sword movements followed one after the other, forcing Page to react with confusion without any power to set up an attack. Page's realm in sword technique was not high to start with, yet he insisted on fighting Jiang Yuochen with the sword. Of course, he was no match. However, if he did not use the blue water dragon patent sword, how could he block the holy weapon, the Abyss Ancient Sword? He would probably have died even quicker. Now that he has broken through the realm, Jiang Yuochen is truly too terrifying. If I don't break into the fish dragon realm, I am not a match for him. It looks like I have to break into the realm today. Page's intention changed, and a glimmer of viciousness flashed in his eyes. Glang! The ear-piercing sound of swords clashed and an eye-catching sword radiance broke into the sky. Page pressed against his sword with both hands. He held the blue water dragon patent sword horizontally and clashed it against the tip of the Abyss Ancient Sword. The blue water dragon patent sword curved backwards into a sword bow. Boom! The sword bow shot out and Page flew backwards at a very high speed. He landed more than 33 meters away. Page found his footing. His shoulders were numb, so he quickly moved his genuine chi to heal the heavy injuries his shoulders had taken. Jiang Yuochen, I have to admit, you are indeed worthy of your title as the king of the younger generation. However, if you want to defeat me, that is impossible. Page took out a red pill the size of a pigeon egg and held it between 2 fingers. This is a half-saint blood pill. I was going to wait until I had reached a bottleneck to use it, but for that dragon pearl of yours, it is worth it to take it now. The half-saint blood pill was made using half-saint blood. Not only did it contain powerful spiritual blood, it also had some of the half-saint's saint power. For immortal vampires, it was a supreme elixir. Page was prepared to take the half-saint blood pill to break into the fish dragon realm. If he could reach the first change in the fish dragon realm, his strength was sure to increase considerably. He would soon be able to kill Jiang Yuochen and steal the dragon pearl. No, I cannot let him break into the fish dragon realm. Jiang Yuochen did not hesitate. He immediately executed space moving and appeared in front of Page. He struck out quickly with his sword towards his right hand, wanting to steal the pill. Page immediately executed the shadow of the 9-star step. He dissolved into a phantom and 9 shadows and quickly retreated. He changed places 9 times in a row. Thinking he had thrown Jiang Yuochen off, he prepared to take the half-saint blood pill, PFFT. A bloody sword pierced through the back of his neck and came out from his mouth. The half-saint blood pill was near Page's mouth, but in the end, he did not manage to take it. Page took one last look at the sword coming through his mouth and his entire body shivered. Just a little bit more, a little bit more. In his final struggle, Page condensed all the power in his body and frantically struck out behind him. He planned to take Jiang Yuochen to the grave with him. Boom! Page's palm power left a crater more than 10 meters wide in the ground behind him. The ground around the crater cracked and split. However, Jiang Yuochen's strike had been with a sword defending technique and he had pierced Page's neck through space. He was not actually standing behind Page. Page's final strike before his death did not harm him at all. Jiang Yuochen swung his sleeve and shook off the dust that surged his way. Swoosh! He extended his hand and the Abyss Ancient Sword once again landed in his hand. I am not satisfied. Page watched as Jiang Yuochen walked closer and closer. His eyes bulged out and he wanted to strike again. Unfortunately, the power in his body had all been used up. Even such a powerful life force as the immortal vampire could not continue at this point. Boom! Page had only taken one step forward when his body swayed, and he fell to the ground. Jiang Yuochen used his spiritual power to investigate. Once he confirmed that Page had truly died, only then did he bend down and remove the half-saint blood pill from his hand. Jiang Yuochen examined the half-saint blood pill and found that on the surface of the pill there were countless pill inscriptions. Not only did it contain the blood of a half-saint, it also had a large amount of blood aura from normal warriors. This pill is indeed the work of immortal vampires. It looks like they truly have returned. Jiang Yuochen had some knowledge of the immortal vampires. He knew that not only did they suck fresh blood from a living people, they also turned fresh blood from a living people into spiritual doses and made them into blood pills. The blood of a half-saint was the main drug. The other warriors' blood was supplementary. They killed thousands upon thousands of people and gathered them into a blood lake. The blood lake would be refined and become a cauldron of blood pills. Each cauldron likely only contained a few blood pills. Perhaps a dozen or so. Each one contained an unusually large amount of spiritual blood. Jiang Yuochen put away the half-saint blood pill and searched Page's body again, but he did not find any other blood pills. He did find another 3 genuine martial arms, 1 at the 9th level and 2 at the 10th level. Jiang Yuochen put it all away to give to the Abyss Ancient Sword. He also picked up the Holy Sword, the Blue Water Dragon pattern sword, and headed back. He began to clean up the battlefield. Since he had exposed the power of space, Jiang Yuochen could not leave anyone alive. He killed all 8 glazed knights and stored the 8 complete sets of undamaged colored glaze armor in his spatial ring. Each set of colored glazed armor was worth an astronomical amount. If he did not sell them, and gave them to Cixin-Kong, Shang-Kiki, and the others, it would help to greatly increase their power. They would have the power to protect themselves in the Saint Academy. As for the 8 dragon bone spears, they were refined by the Abyss Ancient Sword, becoming 8 lines of basic inscription. Jiang Yuochen found genuine martial arms on the bodies of the 11 warriors at the completion of the Heaven Realm which the 3 great saint families had sent out. These were also all given to the Abyss Ancient Sword to refine. After absorbing all of the genuine martial arms, dozens more basic inscriptions appeared on the Abyss Ancient Sword. The total had reached 241. Not only that, the sword edge had become sharper and the weight of the blade had also increased greatly. Having done all this, only then did Jiang Yuochen begin to walk in the direction of Blackie and the Orange Star Emissary. The Orange Star Emissary had seen Jiang Yuochen kill Page. Her brows furrowed tightly and she let out a long sigh. How could Jiang Yuochen have become so strong? It was likely that only the first-ranked warrior on the Heaven Board, the Yellow God Emissary, had full confidence in being able to defeat him. However, The Yellow God Emissary was in the primitive world of Xuanwu, breaking into the ultimate realm of the Heaven Realm, and it was impossible for him to come to the primitive world of Wood Spirit. So it seemed that her wish to escape had become an extravagant hope. She just wondered, how would Zhang Yuochen punish her?